This video was originally going to be a rant about how the Century Age of Ashes devs hasn't spoken to the community in well over a month. The title was going to be Have the Devs Abandoned Us? Century Age of Ashes. Quite dramatic, right? Just as I was going to start the editing process, this happened. They actually posted an update. Not on Steam, where most people are gonna see it, not on Twitter, where they have 12,500 followers, but on Facebook, where they have 2,700 followers. Because that just makes sense, right? In this update, they share some news on the game's PlayStation release, as well as future features that will be coming to the game. The big news for PlayStation is that there is no news. They're just reconfirming that their plan to release the game for PlayStation during the summer of 2022 is still their plan. By definition, the summer lasts through September, so that means it's gonna be out within 5 weeks. Finally, our friends in the PlayStation ecosystem can take to the skies on Dragonback as well. At least, I hope so. In the original video, I was also gonna rant a bit about the fact that we didn't really know anything about when Season 1 will end and Season 2 will start. Coincidentally, they gave us an update on this as well. It's almost like they knew I was making that video. Season 1 will last all the way until late October, which is still more than 2 months away. On the bright side, it looks like Season 1 will end with a bang though, as, and I quote, "All Dragonaires take one last stand for the fate of the world in an all-new PvE game mode." End quote. A PvE game mode is something the community has been asking for, so it's nice to see they're adding this. Season 2 will also feature a new character class, a new themed arena, and a new battle pass. On top of this, we're getting what they're calling, and again I quote, "a groundbreaking game mode that'll redefine the pillars of Century." End quote. That should leave us all with enough stuff to be excited for. More than 2 months down the line though. Soon, trademark. This was also something I was going to mention in my rant. If you want people to keep interest in your game, you need to provide carrots on a stick like this so that people have something to look forward to. The reason why I've had a lack of interest in Century lately has been because we know nothing of the future up to this point, except for the fact that it would be coming to PlayStation. Now that I know at least something about what the future holds, I can feel my interest in the game returning. In the meantime though, it seems like they have nothing planned aside from a launch event for the PlayStation release. Seeing as the last of the weekly quest is just about to release, that means we got pretty much nothing else to do for possibly 5 weeks, but to keep the grind going. This launch event will feature a last team standing game mode, and it will be giving out special rewards to players using the Stormracer class. If you don't have that class yet, you should have plenty of time to grind out those silver coins you need in the possibly 5 weeks to come. They will also be running a double XP event alongside this special event, so that PlayStation players can catch up with the battle pass. How nice! The game is also set to receive an update during Season 1 that will, possibly, introduce some new features. Most importantly, for some of you, the update will help reduce crashes and disconnects on Xbox while also making improvements to the matchmaking system in general. Finally, we might possibly get the option to join a match mid-game. One of my big frustrations in Century has been match leavers. If things aren't going their way, a lot of people would just straight up leave the match. There's no real penalty for this, except for leaving your team with one less player, which is a huge disadvantage in this game. Hopefully this update will help deal with this issue. More interestingly though, they're looking to add items that will be visually upgradable through quests. They don't really say much more about the new features than this, but promise to share more news in a future update. And that's pretty much it for what they provided with this news post. The community has been screaming for an update like this, so it was about time. I really hope they try and change up their market strategy going forward to try and reach more people. Not only existing players, but also new ones. Any new players who might be interested in the game might as well think the game is dead right now. It's been almost 2 months since their last news post on Steam, and the player count is so low it doesn't even show up on the community page. Spoiler alert, the game barely reaches 300 players in a day. This is of course only counting Steam, so there's more people coming in from consoles and Epic Games. For the last 5 weeks, their social media activity has been nothing but giveaways and random engagement tweets about nicknaming your pet dragon. Most engagement on these posts have been people asking about the PlayStation release, which have all gone ignored. I really wish they had taken at least some time to reply to these comments, as people are honestly just gonna be losing interest in the game if they keep getting ignored like this. Well, anyways, my pessimism has, albeit slightly, turned more towards optimism. The game is definitely in a ditch right now, but I hope that once they get the game out for PlayStation and can start focusing on content instead, that will have a surge in both quality and player numbers. Right now the game is starting to feel a little bit stale with how long the matchmaking can be and the repetitive gameplay. New game modes coming in the future will be a welcome relief. If you learned something new from this video, please give it a like and subscribe to stay updated on the latest news about Century Age of Ashes, or if you want to learn more about free-to-play gaming in general. I plan to do more content like this going forward as the games I covered keep getting updates. In the meantime, I'm gonna try to discover and review new games as well. I plan to spend my weekend taking a look at AVA Global and Outbreak Island Pendulum, so stay tuned for that. This was Totally Free Gaming, and I'll see you in the next one.